This video is being recorded on July 29th, 2026, but on the Jewish calendar, it's the 15th of the month of Av, 5786, unless it's recorded after sundown, in which case it's already tomorrow. Why? Because the Jewish calendar, one of the oldest used calendars in the world, works rather differently from most other calendars. Unlike the Gregorian calendar, which is based on the sun, or the Islamic calendar, which follows only the moon, the Jewish calendar uses both. In other words, it follows both the moon and the sun, a system known as a lunisolar calendar. Each Jewish month begins with a new moon, so months are either 29 or 30 days long. But 12 lunar months add up to only about 354 days, which is about 11 days shorter than a solar year. That creates a problem. If the calendar followed only the moon, Jewish holidays would slowly drift through the seasons. Passover, for example, which is meant to be observed in the spring, would eventually fall in winter, then autumn, then summer. The solution is surprisingly elegant. Instead of leap years that add one extra day every 4 years, as the Gregorian calendar does, Jewish leap years add an entire extra month 7 times during every 19-year cycle. That keeps the lunar months aligned with the solar seasons, so that Passover always remains in the spring. So why is the Jewish calendar year 5786? For starters, we don't distinguish between before and after the Common Era. For most of Jewish history, there wasn't a printed calendar. Each new month was declared by the Jewish court in Jerusalem after witnesses reported seeing the new moon. But in the 4th century of the Common Era, persecution and exile made that impossible. So the then head of the Jewish court, or Sanhedrin, Hillel II, published the mathematical rules for a permanent calculated calendar. To make the calendar work, a fixed starting point, known as the calendar's epoch, was established, using the mathematically calculated birth of the very first new moon. Had there been a Gregorian calendar at that time, the epoch would have corresponded to shortly after 11 p.m., October 7th, 3761 before the Common Era. That's how precise the math was. Whether you view that date literally, symbolically, or simply as part of Jewish tradition, it's important to remember it isn't the date the calendar was invented, nor a date that anyone observed. It's simply the mathematical starting point from which every Jewish year is counted. On the Jewish calendar, that starting point corresponds to the first day of the Jewish month of Tishrei, which is also the date of Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year. In addition to being tied to both the solar and lunar cycles, the Jewish calendar also reflects a different understanding of when a day begins. Instead of changing at midnight, a Jewish day begins at sunset, following the biblical pattern of there was evening and there was morning, again tied to the appearance of the moon. So thanks to those calculations and the publicizing of a Jewish calendar, Jews in Toronto, Tel Aviv, Paris, Sydney, or Buenos Aires have continued to celebrate the same holidays on the same day. The Jewish calendar is more than just a tool for timekeeping. It has connected generations to the same history and the same shared rhythm of Jewish life for millennia.
The Jewish month begins with a thin crescent. The moon grows until it is full.